What's the most disgusting prank you've ever seen someone pull? When I was working my first real job at this architecture firm downtown, there was this guy named Brian who thought he was the king of pranks. And I mean, at first his stuff was harmless. He'd hide your stapler in the ceiling tiles or swap your coffee mug with an identical one so you'd think you were going crazy. Everyone kind of tolerated it because he was buddy-buddy with one of the managers. But there was this quiet dude named Jackson who sat in the corner cubicle. Super nice guy, never bothered anyone. He'd pack the exact same lunch every single day. Turkey sandwich in a blue Tupperware container, 1 apple, and a Nature Valley granola bar, like clockwork. I noticed because my desk was near the break room and I'd see him walk past at exactly noon every day. Brian hated it for some reason. He'd make comments like, "Wow, turkey sandwich again? You know they invented other foods, right?" Jackson would just smile politely and keep walking. It clearly bothered Brian that Jackson wouldn't engage with his BS. One Monday morning, I was refilling my water bottle when I overheard Brian talking to another coworker near the copy machine. Jackson had mentioned in a team meeting the week before that he couldn't eat eggs because they made him super sick. Not like hospital-level allergic, but enough that he'd be throwing up for hours. Brian thought this was hilarious information. I watched him that Tuesday morning hover around the break room fridge like a creep. He waited until Jackson went to the bathroom, then pulled out Jackson's blue Tupperware. He opened it, took out the turkey sandwich, and replaced it with something that looked identical. I didn't know what it was at the time. He sealed it back up perfectly and put it right back in the same spot. At lunch, Jackson sat at his usual table in the corner. I was heating up leftover pasta and I saw him take his first bite. His face changed immediately. He looked confused, then concerned. He lifted the bread and stared at the filling. Then he dropped the sandwich and rushed out of the break room. I followed because something felt really wrong. Jackson was in the bathroom absolutely losing it. I could hear him gagging and coughing through the door. It sounded painful, like really, really bad. When I came back to the break room, Brian was standing with 2 other guys from the design team, laughing. He was literally wiping tears from his eyes. He said, "Wait till Jackson finds out he just ate Karen's leftover egg salad from last Thursday. That stuff's been sitting in there for 4 days." I felt sick. This wasn't a prank. This was just cruel. Another intern named Kevin was standing behind them. I didn't notice, but he'd pulled out his phone and recorded Brian's entire confession, the laughing, the explanation, everything. Jackson ended up leaving work early. He texted our supervisor that he was going to urgent care because he couldn't stop throwing up. When he came back the next day, he looked awful, pale, exhausted, like he hadn't slept. He went straight to HR and filed a formal report. At first, Brian tried to deny it. He said Jackson must have grabbed the wrong container or someone else did it. But then Kevin walked into that meeting and played the recording. Brian's voice clear as day, bragging about the whole thing. I wasn't in the room, but I heard later that Brian tried to backtrack. He said it was just a joke and Jackson wasn't going to die or anything. Like that made it okay. HR didn't see it that way. Brian was fired that same afternoon. Security walked him out with his box of desk stuff while the rest of us just watched. He tried to smile like it was no big deal, but you could tell he was panicking. Jackson got an official written apology from the company, and they updated the entire employee handbook. New rules about food tampering, workplace conduct, all of it. They even put locks on the break room fridge for people who wanted them.